example where it's certainly been used very negatively is with human trafficking. So, both recruitment of men and women into either low-paying jobs or into sexual enslavement. So it's certainly been used for that kind of purpose.
So how would
it,
give us an example there, Mark, of how it would be used? People being groomed on Facebook, or people, how do people use technology to
so from
facilitate
being groomed on Facebook in a whole variety of countries, and then being promised something which, of course, they're never going to actually be delivered. But then through to the financial transactions, the movement of money, the communication,
So it can happen in clandestine ways that are not easily traceable by authorities.
And then, one of the examples I was come across is putting GPS trackers onto the women or men who are being enslaved.
Wow.
So that way they're being tracked through, they can't escape so easily. So it's things like
That's
that.
extraordinary.
It's technology, like anything, can be used well, it can be used badly, and so then it's how what are the regulations that are either in place, or what are the mechanisms of trying to promote the good use of technology.
There's a great campaign called Take Back the Tech that women's rights activists have organised around, particularly to address violence against women and the different types of violence. I also think that bullying happens on Facebook, through text messages, but I think I'm quite concerned about the kind of violence that can be perpetrated on using the new technology, whereas the traditional radio, you can have, you can cut the person off.
So you're talking about abuse and bullying and harassing people.
But also, focusing on specific groups, so particularly in relation to sexual orientation and gender identity, and those specific groups become far more vulnerable. And it's been seen, there have been some horrendous cases, I think in the Philippines in particular. So those kinds of issues is one. And this whole sort of propaganda by not so good governments as well, where they can utilize their own media and their own Twitter accounts to say how wonderful they are.
One striking example for me, I was working in Pakistan, in Sindh province, working with a company that were actually doing tech for good, positive change, where people were texting in SMS anonymous tips about aid not making the villages that it was supposed to make to post-flood. But while I was there, I kept hearing the stories, and a couple of stories over and over again, how Pakistan is one of those countries, again, very affordable basic feature phones, so most people have them, including women, in a very traditional society. And what was happening in the stories that I was hearing and seeing in the local papers that I was getting translated was that text messaging and a young Pakistani girl texting a boy in the next village would lead to an honor killing, or a missed phone call or a phone call from a man to a wife's phone would again lead to an honor killing. So you're giving this technology with this great power into the hands of vulnerable women, but it can also be used for bad, like anything.